Hey guys, welcome to the Wild Card Weekend wrap-up for this special 10th anniversary Blood, Sweat, and Beers season. While Derrick Henry and Humble Brags dominated the message boards, you could hear the nail-biting echoing through the commercial breaks on Sunday and Monday night as we had a couple of interesting, basically defensive games. Sunday night, I really thought this was the year of the gloop. I got to be honest, I was kind of pulling for you, Harrison. I thought maybe this was going to be your year, and I thought going into Sunday night, for sure, right? I mean, Todd Gurley, I just thought for sure that was almost a lock. I guess that's why we play the games, right? To make sure. Just one thing to keep in mind, though, you lost by 9 points, 11 points. If you had put Dalvin Cook in instead of Sonny Michel in your flex, you'd have won by 1/10 of a point. You may have already noticed that. Just something that let that kind of bounce around a little bit in the offseason. What ifs? 1/10 of a point. That would have been an epic win. But unfortunately, you're going to have to wait till next year to see if that will be the year of the gloop. John, your second team just didn't quite bring it, and I got to be honest, it was probably well deserved. Russell Wilson is a starting quarterback for sure, so I get it. You put him in there, but seriously, hanging on to players with no team, hanging on to nobody with an empty roster spot. Probably didn't really deserve that win. I got to say, though, I mean, again, Russell Wilson is a starting quarterback. You put him in there. Unfortunately, you lost by just a little over 8 points. But Russell Wilson only had 7. So all you needed was 15.4 points out of your quarterback, and you could have won that game. Just want to point out that there were 9 quarterbacks available in free agency that scored at least that many points. And I'm not talking about flyers like Josh Johnson, Washington's 4th string guy who came in and ran in a touchdown and threw one. Nobody could have guessed that, although he is one of the 9. I'm talking about Dak Prescott, Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr, for crying out loud, even Eli Manning did it. And most of those guys are averaging at or above the number of points you needed. Just something to keep in mind as you move forward, thinking about your roster and what you should do with those spots you have on the bench. So anyway, as we go ahead and look ahead to this week's matchups, the heavy hitters were off. Interesting to see what Joe did or didn't do, although the projections for this week, even without Connor in there, is pretty impressive. We'll have to see if all of those come true or not. And maybe Nathan's making a late run, 130 points, second most of all the teams in the league this weekend. We'll see what happens on the West Championship game between him and Keith, and we've got the East Championship game between Aaron and Joe. The East Championship game represents 5 trips to the championship and 3 wins, 3 championships represented on that side. And in the West, no championships and only 2 trips over the 9 previous years. So I don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to be one of the seasoned vets? You guys hanging around like maybe some of those guys, Pittsburgh, Dallas, New England, been there, done that, show up and know what to do? Or is it going to be one of those upstarts on the other side that maybe end up bringing home the Pilsner Trophy? Unfortunately, we do know that Orlando Thunder's not going to win the championship. We know that Augustus Gloop 9 is not going to win the championship. And as always, we know that Keith is not going to win the championship.